Most litigators, or trial lawyers as we're often referred to, are very familiar with the trial procedures, the rules of civil procedure that govern the lawsuit from the time you file the lawsuit to the time it goes to trial. Well, there's a whole other area of litigation that can occur after the trial. That's what we would call appellate work, or things that need to be appealed. If there was a decision that was made during the course of that 2-year lawsuit that you need to appeal to the Court of Appeals in Arizona, or maybe even the Supreme Court of Arizona. Those rules that govern appeals are very different than the rules of civil procedure. There are generally 2 types of appeals. One is called a special action, and the other one is what we would call just a regular appeal. A special action is one that occurs during the 2 years that that lawsuit is going on. During that time period, the judge can enter interim rulings that may have an impact on your case, that need to be decided right then by a court of appeals, so that the trial lawyers aren't wasting another 6, 8, 10 months on litigating that case, when the Court of Appeals may come back and say, hey, trial judge, you messed up, you shouldn't have ruled that way. So you would file a special action during that lawsuit. The other one would be a regular appeal, and that comes after the lawsuit itself, after the 2 years, after a jury or judge has rendered its final verdict. The rules that govern special actions and appeals are very different than those of the rules of civil procedure. It's important, if you find yourself in a situation where you need appellate help, that you find an attorney that is familiar with the appellate procedures and the procedures that govern special actions. If you don't have a lawyer that's familiar with that, you can use a different lawyer. In fact, it's not uncommon that we'll get a phone call here saying, hey, look, Mr. Peterson, we've helped this client through this trial, but they need to appeal something now. Can you please help us out on that? And we do. We here at Denton Peterson are familiar with the appellate procedural rules, as well as those governing special actions, and have experience doing that. And we'd be happy to help you should you find yourself in a situation where you need appellate work.